5 bars LTE. That makes no sense. Live here from the field, the final score 52-12. The Colts victorious over the Falcons for the first time in 3 seasons. The Falcons held a 5-0 record combined in regular season and playoff games against the Colts being victorious, and now they have broken the streak. And we'll try to get some interviews post-game with head coach Steve Adams to talk about the injuries with FCA and what they have going forward, as well as we will discuss with Coach Jordan Flanders, and we'll see if we can discuss with any of the players. Jordan Flanders, the guy with the headset on, and then if you want to grab a player from CCS that you thought would be good to talk to, you can.
How many can I grab?
Just grab one. Grab the quarterback. Why was it? Who was it?
I would say
it was number 2.
Okay, Andrew.
Which one? Who was that? Number 2, Andrew? Is that another last or
Andrew from FCA.
Yeah, sure, if you want to grab him. But
him or Brandon.
I mean, it wouldn't make any sense to grab the guys who's with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab Colson. Or number 4.
Colton.
High school got fired by the school because he chose to play with players when he killed after Paul. Make sure you thank you for that prayer, because that's bigger than anything that we just accomplished on the field.
FCA, their season guys, and we look forward to seeing them again. So we just again to thank you for the privilege of football and the privilege to come out here, guys, and just pray that you bless all those seasons, guys, and that we glorify you for everything.
And that's the end of the post-game wrap-up. We'll try to get some interviews here with the coaches. We'll see if we can get them in a second, as well as we'll try to get Colton Rollins from Christian Community. We'll see if we can get them post-game interviews here. Of course, all the players and such heading to the sidelines. Trent, get the coaches first. Get them first. So we're just waiting to get the coaches here for their post-game interviews here. So we'll get some interviews real quick with both coaches first. We got Steve Adams, head coach. Make sure we get you on camera here, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
You got everyone wants to see your face here. Yeah, so Coach Steve Adams, head coach of the Falcons. You know, unfortunately, not the game you wanted to see. You know, with a 40-point loss, especially after your 10-point loss against the Freedom Cowboys. What sort of positives can you take coming from this game?
Well, anytime you play a game with guys that have not played a lot of football, the score, yeah, you get beat by a big number, but the score really doesn't tell the tale. You got to keep coaching them. You got to get them better, and each time every play, they're getting better. Sometimes it hurts to gain experience this way. But sometimes this is the painful stuff is what makes you just get that much hungrier and work that much harder. And that's what we're going to do.
And unfortunately, an 0-2 start, 0-1 in conference, of course, but as it was mentioned on the show, Sunday, we interviewed Coach Flanders, and he did say that he was very complimentary of you guys and said you were the best 0-1 team that you would be facing going into this game. Now, next week, I'm not sure who you have on your schedule, if you have that right.
Again.
You guys are off, and then I believe you.
Good. That lets us heal up, lets us get a little more practice time in, and then we go down to Riverside.
Yeah, so you guys got Riverside, who they have a close game right now. We don't have a final score update on that, but they're having a close game with the Patriots.
It's going to be another physical matchup. Riverside's always got some big guys. They're going to be physical, and they're going to want to run the ball down your throat. And that's what these guys did tonight. Listen, man, they were the more physical team tonight. They wanted it more than we did, and we got to decide: are we going to come back out and work hard and get better? Or are we going to, curl up and go home to mama?
Right.
I don't know, but we're going to work hard. We're going to get better.
And of course, we unfortunately saw two of your players being injured. We heard that Andrew Schindel has a broken rib, and we were very complimentary up of him in the booth, saying to come out, replay on the field, still push through that injury and such until you essentially said, "Look, you got to stop here." Give us your reflections on that, and also with Hayden Weeks and his status right now.
Well, Andrew's he's a tough kid. I asked him at halftime, could he go? And I was like, I didn't want him to go, but he said, "Coach, I need to go back in. I need to play. I need to help our team." I don't know how you confirm he's got a broken rib because we don't have x-ray machines out here, but I think it's a very severe bruised rib. It may be broken, but we don't know that for sure. Hayden tweaked his knee a little bit. We had Ethan Monsov. It looks like he's got a broken wrist, which is kind of sad for that kid because we got him to come back out for us, and now looks like he's going to be out for a while. So, hey, and we're not that deep, so we're going to have to fight through some injuries.
All right, well, best of luck to you guys in the bye week and going against Riverside next week, and go tell your guys what to look forward to in the next game.
Thank you guys for doing this and supporting 8-man football.
Yeah, of course, man. You guys are what make it possible, but thank you. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Good job, man.
All right, so we'll try to get Coach Jordan Flanders on camera now. I believe they're talking over on the side, and we'll see if we can get Colton Rollins possibly on camera, the Colts right now. Just heading off to the side to get everything finished and completed.
We're not going to be getting Colton.
Okay, so Colton Rollins, he'll be heading to the sideline, just getting some victory there. We'll get Coach Jordan Flanders in just a moment, so be sure to stay with us here in the Extreme Radio post game, and then we'll wrap up and preview tomorrow's game at Bowling Green. So we will give those previews in just a moment. So let's go ahead and try to head over here to Coach Flanders. If you want to grab the tripod here, Trent, just giving a little bit of your fun stuff. He's talking to his coaches over there. I'm sure he knows that he'll be over here in just a moment. He'll see us walking in the distance, like, "What are you guys doing?" Yeah, but we'll get him in just a moment. And of course, we had the pleasure of interviewing him on Sunday. He was very complimentary of the Falcons. They're having their post-game meeting here with Coach Adams and everything. And again, as we said, Flanders very complimentary of the Falcons and saying that they were the best 0-1 team you would be facing, of course. Although the score may read right now 52-12, the Falcons put up as much of a decent fight as they could, and the Colts especially just took control of the game. And, of course, as Trent said, he's going to be looking a little bit at FCA going into the future games, and we'll discuss that all on the Extreme Radio on Sunday at 4 p.m. Extreme Radio, built by MDI Construction Inc. We'll go over all of that, go over these games, preview the next games and everything. So just be sure to tune into that broadcast this coming Sunday. All right, so we're waiting to get Coach Jordan Flanders on camera here. He's just getting a little bit of post-game talks with all the coaches and everything, all the players passing by here. And, again, the score 52-12. The Colts victorious over the Falcons, and Jordan Flanders walking over here. Now the 3-0 coach. All right, Coach Flanders. You had a lot of talking there. I'm sure a lot of stuff to go over post-game. And we had you on the show. You said it was the best 0-1 team that you would be facing going into this game. I'm sure you have those same thoughts going in tonight or even after this result.
Yeah, the scoreboard again there's a big separated margin there. I was proud of our guys right now. We came out and we played physical from the get-go, and we kept our foot on the gas. And a lot of that just comes to we had more bullets in the gun to keep putting in throughout that first, second, third quarter, and they didn't have them there. So they're a good team. They're a solid team. I just told them, I said, guys, I know y'all were 0-1, now you're 0-2, but you're still the best 0-2 team there is. Just stay together, keep working, and who knows, maybe we'll see them again down the road.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what your schedule is for next week. I know that FCA, they have a bye week, and then they head down to Riverside, who they're in a tight game with the South Haven Patriots right now. But what's your schedule next week, and what are you doing looking forward for that?
Well, if you go by scores, we got our toughest game yet next week. We go down to Freedom in Alabama. And we matched up better with FCA tonight, I think. Freedom's going to be a very tough challenge. They're big, strong. They definitely outweigh us at the point, so we just got to do good at the point of attack and keeping our ground and staying fundamental and hopefully fixing some errors we made in the game tonight during the practice this week.
And I believe that game with Freedom and the Colts, we will be broadcasting that game for our Extreme Game of the Week. We're making that long travel down to Alabama with you guys as well. Last question, Coach. We had unfortunate injuries on the Falcons side. Shindell having possibly a bruised or fractured, or worst case scenario, broken rib, and Hayden Weeks having a little bit of a knee issue. Ethan Monsalve potentially broken wrist and everything. Saw some of your guys go down as well, including I believe Isaiah Webb, but we saw him play a little bit in the game. Tell us kind of the update on the injuries for those players and how you're gonna are you gonna do light practice with them going into next week? Or are you gonna have them rest, or are you just gonna go as normal?
Well, let me first say, hey, those boys over there, they may have even been facing an injury and were gutting it out. Shindell was just, you could see the kid was giving everything he had. There was nothing left. I didn't know about Hayden's knee. Definitely be keeping him in our prayers. But those boys were tough. They hung in there. They made that team. They're going to hold that team together, and that'll be the reason they get turning around on this 0-2 season. As far for us, Isaiah got a little bit of kick over here, but he went back in the game. He seemed fine. And we had a little bit where they didn't call the late hit, but it was probably a late hit over here with our running back, 32, Derek Jefferson. He tweaked it a little bit, but I think he's going to be fine. So overall, I think we're healthy. We're still healthy. We got a little hurt. I don't think we got injured. We got some hurts. And as far as practice this week, we got to just keep doing what we're doing. We got a physical team Friday, so we probably need to match that intensity all week so we can come out and be used to what we're doing. Yeah.
And now we're down 5-0 in the streak. The Falcons leading in that in playoff games and in regular season games. The streak is over. You've broken it, and you guys are victorious again, and you are 3-0, undefeated in MTAC. Congratulations to you, Coach, and good luck against Freedom next week.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course. All right, so Trent will come back on screen in just a little bit. We're going to wrap up the game and preview tomorrow's game against Bowling Green, of course. So now, Trent, just getting a little bit of the final thoughts on this game. Again, score 52-12. The Falcons did not really show up in this game. They just had a little bit of issues, especially injuries going forward. We heard it, Coach Adams' thoughts, but if you were one of the defensive coaches or doing anything on the coaching staff for Franklin Christian Academy, what would you be telling your guys going into this week, going into their bye week, and then going against Riverside in Fayetteville?
Nothing. Their defensive line was amazing tonight. Christian Community's defensive line was amazing tonight. Both of them were great. Probably the best two defensive line high school performances I've ever seen. I really think that score doesn't really show what happened in this game because they both won it. They both were fighting for it. It's just someone came on top a lot higher margin than what I really think it.
Yeah, and of course the Falcons go to 0-2. They go to a bye week, and then they travel down to Huntsville, Alabama, which will be live for that game on the Extreme Radio, or the Extreme Game of the Week. We'll be live from that in 2 weeks from today, and then that's with Christian Community. They're going down to Freedom, Alabama 2 weeks from today. We'll be live from that game. And with FCA's game against Riverside, I do not believe we will be live for that game. So next week, Huntsville, Alabama, will be down there. But let's look forward to tomorrow's game, 1 p.m. matinee game. The Bowling Green Christian Academy Warriors are hosting the Hendersonville Christian Academy Crusaders. Now, you look at not Hendersonville, they are hosting the St. Andrews Suwannee Mountain Lions. So Suwannee, they have a long travel. We have not seen either of these teams play. We know what we've seen from South Haven when we saw them face against Madisonville, and they beat the Warriors around the 60-point range to 22, I believe it was. And we haven't seen anything from St. Andrews Suwannee. It's their first game, essentially, on the road. It's their first game. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that is up in Bowling Green and such. But essentially, the word we kind of have from that is potential, because we don't really know much from what we're seeing there. But are there any thoughts you could think about from Bowling Green live in a matinee game?
Well, have we seen Bowling Green play yet this year?
Well, we have the scores where South Haven beat them about 66-22, I believe the score was, something like that. So it was a 40-point loss margin. We haven't seen them play really any games on broadcast, but we've at least heard some of those scores.
Well, Sewanee, you can't look at future, even if they were good last year, or if they were bad last year. You can't look at your future, because that's not what's going to happen this year. It might happen, it might not happen, but you always got to go in there with an open mind that this is our first game. We're going to come in, we're going to win, we're going to, just going to come in and win.
Yep. And St. Andrew Sewanee, they have been waiting to bring a championship back to their school ever since their franchise's formation, or more since their football program's startup. So they're waiting to get a championship, as well as Bowling Green Christian Academy starting their program about 2 years ago, I believe. Both of them looking to make a decent run. So one team is gonna get a victory from that tomorrow, and one team, unfortunately, will fall. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up here from White House and May Flanders Field for the Extreme Game of the Week, Part 1. Parts 2 and 3 are tomorrow. Part 2, the Warriors of Bowling Green Christian Academy host the St. Andrew Sewanee Mountain Lions at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. That'll be live on our YouTube channel, exclusively broadcast on the A-Man Extreme YouTube channel, part of the Extreme Sports Network. And then, of course, we'll remind you about tomorrow night's game, the Knights being hosted by the Heat in Mount Juliet. So we'll be live for both of those games tomorrow, or Trent will actually be live at the Bowling Green game. He will not be at the game on Saturday night. James and I will be on call for that one. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, for Trent Legate and James Shannon watching at home, managing everything on social media, I'm Spencer Thompson. Thank you, and we're saying good night from White House.